Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. My name is Eric, and I am just a coding guy. Just a normal coding guy. And today, we are going through, and actually, oh, you know what? I need to update my stream info here. We are going to... New language! I'm gonna use a new language today. I think I talked about this before. I wanna do some of these puzzles in languages that I've never seen before because that would be fun. So let's give it a shot. I need to open up Atom here. Trusty editor. This is something akin to Notepad++, except it's much more extensible in my opinion. Come on, Adam, open up. Alright, so we're doing arcade mode on Code Fights. Yesterday, if you watched the stream, you would saw that we finished the second part here. We finished Edge of the Ocean, and now we are moving on to smooth sailing. And problem number 9 here, all longest strings. So, let's get into it. Let's see what we need to. What language am I going to use today? That's the biggest question here. I feel like I should just use the top one, Clojure. It scares me. I don't know anything about Clojure. I can't even pronounce it. I think we're going to use it. Oh, Jesus. That looks awful. Deafening. All longest strings, input array. Okay, so I guess the reason why I like to do using new languages because I want to show people that doing computer science, developing algorithms is independent of using a language. Really, you want to develop your algorithm and then you want to implement it in the language of your choice, or many languages. So. Anyway, so let's work on the problem first. Given an array of strings, return another array containing all of its longest strings. Given an array of strings, return another array containing all of its longest strings. For input array, the output should be A, B, A, A, V, C, D, A, B, A, A. I think this is a pretty simple solution here. Holy crap, look at the time they give you, the time limit. 116,000 milliseconds. That is 16 seconds. It says you get 16 seconds, your program at 16 seconds to run and work. It is incredible. I don't know what this Clojure stuff is, but apparently they have allotted 16 seconds. And the input isn't even that great, right? Look at input array about length. Less than 10. And the length of each string is also less than or equal to 10. So I'm not sure what this Clojure business is all about. I'm excited. Whatever. We'll give this a shot. So first I'm gonna implement it. It's kind of like, let's just do this. Yeah. So there's our input. So I can imagine that we have some sort of string or some sort of int that is like longest size equals 0. Unless they're all empty, then it doesn't matter. Okay, anyways. And then I can imagine I would have, well, okay, we'll start with that, right? So I go like for, notice how I'm just like, I already have the solution in my mind. I'm going to iterate through the loop twice. Or I'm going to iterate through the array twice. I don't care that, like, oh, you did it twice. It doesn't matter because the big O doesn't change. Iterating over it once is the same as iterating over twice when big O is concerned, right? Because we drop the factors, or we drop the coefficients off of the most significant factor in the polynomial. So int I equals 0. I is less than, what is it? Let's call it a dot size plus I. Simple, simple, simple. If a of I dot like size. This isn't C++ code, right? Because it's a string, and string is like, you know, you get like size of or something. Or I think maybe it does have a dot length. Dot length, is that better? Doesn't matter. This is just kind of like general code. Dot length is greater than longest size, and then, you know, longest size equals a of I. A of I dot length. Dot length. Wunderbar. So that's our first loop. Basically, we're saying basically we're trying to answer the question, you know, what is longest string, and then we find it. The next part of this, come back here, bracket. The next part of this is actually going through the array the second time and saying, I know what the longest string is now. I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna hand pick them out. So right now I can imagine that we don't know, but we do know, right? That it's guarantee that input array dot length is going to be less than or equal to 10. So I think I'm just going to make an array that does it. You could usually, if you don't really know the input type, I would probably just stick to using a dynamic type, one that you know, like a vector or a list, because you don't know what the length is going to be, right? So you can just add elements to it, not worrying about the size of the container, because the size will just grow as you add elements. Whereas an array, it's a fixed size. But since I know what the constraint is right here, I know that it's going to be less than or equal to 10. I'm just going to create an array of 10. So it's going to be string of it's going to be like output string out, and it's going to be 10, whatever. Just pseudocode, I don't care. For int I equals 0. I is less than. Hang on a second, my son is going crazy. Sorry. My kids are watching a scary show, and they're scared, and I'm telling them to suck it up. Life is scary. So, oh wait, sorry, a dot size. Solid Brule. I went to school with that guy. Plus I. So then, we want the longest strings. So if a of I dot length is equal to longest size, then we'll just say, out of I This is a dangerous move, normally, but I'm really happy that Code Fights gives you the constraints really well. Right now we're using I as an index into A being the input array, this guy right here. And so normally it's a bad idea, I would say, to use this variable, which you're kind of tying to this array, and index into this array. But since we know that this can't be any larger than A, they're going to be either the same size, or A is going to be less than or equal to the size of out, because I made it 10. Therefore, I think it's easy. I think it's safe to use I to index into our out array. Out of I. Oh, you know what? Array of the longest strings. Hey, let me see what the output looks like. Maybe I'll use a variable. Maybe I will use a type, because look here. Here's the input array, but then here's this other output array. It's all nice. It's all nice and organized. Hang on a second. Anyways. So, anyways, out of I is actually going to be a dynamic type, like a vector or something. It's going to be like std. Sorry, this looks like C++, but that's what I got right now. std string. I don't know why I'm putting namespaces in there. This is just pseudocode. Out dot like insert add insert a of I. Right. So do that, and then be like return out dot get array or something like that. I don't know. Okay, let's do it. Clojure. So now I have my solution. I think it's gonna work, and now I have to figure out this language called Clojure. Clojure. I can't say that tonight. Maybe that's the first thing I should look up, is how to say this thing. Clojure is a dynamic, general-purpose programming language. All right. Reference. Vectors. What do I need first? I need an int. Clojure is a homo-iconic language. TLDR. How do I make an int? Symbols. Symbols begin, yes. Literals. Numbers. Definitely long. We'll read as long as when in the range. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright, I'm just gonna Google it. Clojure make int. I just want to create an integer. This isn't useful. I just want to create an integer. Ah. Does everything have to be user? Oh man, this is harder than I thought it was gonna be. Enclosure. Lists. This is hard, guys. I just want to get started. Okay, I can get started. Learn Clojure. Okay. Okay. I want. So these are literals. This is really confusing. I just want to create an integer. Alright, so how is this hard? Declare variable. Am I missing something? The special form def in interns creates an interns a var. If the var did not already exist, no value is applied and the var is unbound. Okay. Okay, I think I got this. Look at this. Clojure. Do I have to indent? I don't know. Def longest size 0. Okay, let's just like run this, see if it breaks. Oh boy, this is why it gives you 16 seconds. It's still compiling. Oh, snap. It compiled? I guess it compiled. That's nice. Okay. So I have longest size. Loops. Give me a loop. Please. Clojure loop. Loop bindings expressions. Looping is recursive in Clojure. The loop construct is a hack so that something like tail recursive optimization works in Clojure. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. By fun, I mean this is kind of like hell right now. Okay, loop. Match. Alright, let's just do this. Loop over. What are you? I think this is a square brackets is an array. Loop over array. How to implement a for loop enclosure? Somebody. Look at this, C++. One way to translate imperative for loop enclosure is to use the for macro. Alright. I got this, guys. So I have a loop, I think. D, my function in D. I'm gonna put a break here. And then I'm gonna close it over here because that's fun. If statement. Closure if statement. If statement, if then else. If evaluates test. Okay. Okay, I think I read something special there. If D closure Boolean expressions. I'm sad right now. I don't want to do this. Closure. Why did I choose closure? Because it was the first one. Curse my luck. Let's see here. So, how do you make an if statement in closure? Why does this language exist? Check equality. Now, buddy. Equality in closure, the equals symbol, always tests value, not identity. So true strings are equal if they have the same contents. For most Java types, including string, closure equals dispatches to java.equals. Okay, so that's good. Anyways. Pardon me. I need to take care of my son. Alright, so closure equals Um, it's a function. Equality. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. So everything is a function. Everything is a function. If equals d and closure access element, get element by index. Closure, closure, closure. So let's see. Sequential collections. Indexed access. Yes, I want that. I want that. Indexed means that the elements of the vector can be treated by index. In Clojure, as in Java, indexes start at 0, not 1. Use the get function to retrieve an element at index. I don't even... This is getting kind of crazy. D and get input really we want to get the string. It's a string. Get the string dot length. Length of a string. Of string. Oh man. Let's see. Functions. I don't want to create a function. I want to do other things. Reference. So let's see. Clojure. Clojure. Length of string. Count. That's a nice one. Count. Okay, so if count, hang on. Count of string equal to longest. Let's see. How about greater than? See if that works. Where does this come from? Clojure core. Yep. There we go. I did that right, at least. I kind of just guessed. Alright, now I got that going. I just need to do a variable assignment. Variable assignment enclosure. Hi, what exactly happens if I try to define the same variable twice? Don't do that. When we say def foo 42, it creates a new binding of the symbol. What really happens is that the symbol foo now points to the value 42. Once a binding has been created, there's no way to mutate the value pointed to by its binding as a result. It is also possible for multiple such bindings to point to the same value. Well, okay. Let like def, let creates a binding. Other languages, it's called a local variable assignment. Thank goodness. That's all I wanted. So I'm guessing it's let. Let bindings. Oh, wait, what? I just want. This is making me sad. All I want to do is make a variable assignment. How's that hard? Set? Core. Set. I don't. It's not useful. Why would you do it in order like this? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look up for by name. Like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna look up by what I'm trying to do. If I knew the name of the function, I wouldn't be looking it up. Or trying to find it, I mean. What? Anyways, I'm gonna get back to you guys on this one. It's gonna take a while, but I'm gonna hop off for a little bit. My brain hurts. We're just starting our Clojure implementation. Really difficult, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Anyways, thanks guys for coming and watching the stream. My name's Eric, and I'm just a coding guy. See you guys next time.